What's up, guys? Earl at Sumo Bully Kennels. Pit monsters, Brazilian pit monsters versus American XL bullies, guys. Let's talk about it. What's up, guys? Here we go. In lieu of all the commotion and all the conversation going on this week with lives and interviews, and I'm referring to QBN Raul and Array of Sama Kennels about the pit monster topic, right? I'm gonna throw my hat in the ring and have my own opinion because I do have pit monsters. I've invested the money. I've started my kennels with American blood and Brazilian blood, and therefore my opinion on what I'm doing first and foremost is what I'm doing, right? No one finances my kennel dreams and kennel goals, only me. And so let's keep that in mind, guys. The freedom of speech, the freedom of opinion and thought is very important, right? That's like a fundamental thing here in the US is your freedom of speech and opinion. And that's what makes this great, because we can agree and or disagree, and it's okay, because everyone's opinion should be respected so long as we are not throwing shade at somebody else and we're doing it in an intelligent way. We can debate, we can agree, and we can disagree. My point in the whole thing, in terms of people saying that the pit monsters should not be mixed with the XLs, I don't agree with that. You know, as discussed, there is volatility in the XL category, and it is all over the place, and you can see 3 to 5 different expressions of the XL. And now people are saying that because it's not dialed in, that we should not bring in another breed to mix in with it. So my first point would be, because it is volatile and it is not established, there's no better time to bring in another breed to correct the issues with the XL, which is lack of breed type, weak rears, and a non-conformity of look. And my other point in bringing in pit monsters right now, because if you establish the breed already, let's just say the XL's already established, like the pockets are, then there's no need for infusion. But right now, because we're so spread out, because of the bulldog and the mastiff influence, and all these other things that we're bringing to give the XL size, in my opinion, there's no better time to bring something in. It's common knowledge in the XL lane that a lot of these popular dogs are paper hung, and infusions of breeds like the Borbal and Mastiffs are prevalent, and you can see it in the dogs. I like the XL lane, first of all, because of the functionality of the dog, right? Healthier. Some of these pockets, you know, you champ them out, you don't see them, they die in 3 years, 4 years, it's so young. I picked the XL lane because of the functionality. With that being said, I agree with some things, I disagree with other things. I don't feel like XL should be in a category against the pockets. Typically, your pockets are going to beat an XL when it comes to best in show. With that said, let's take a look at some of these girls that I have here. So here, we'll start with Fortuna. This is an adult female that we imported here from Brazil to the US. My criteria of what I wanted was a pit monster that expressed a lot of the bulldog traits, the oldies, right? What we're seeing here, I love the shoulders on the oldies and that chest and the forehead muscle. And so when we picked Fortuna, specifically the first breeding was the Klaus, because I didn't want to outcross her right away. I wanted to do pit monster blood, so that's my first gen of the dog that I want, right? So I have here Kiko. So you'll see here Kiko. We produced her off Fortuna and Klaus, and she's exactly what I wanted her to be. Very nice expression, and she's only coming on 8 months, about close to 90 pounds, a very muscular expression. And this is going to be a baseline for our blood. Very great temperament. Come here, sweetheart. You. So you're seeing her now. No, not your turn. Get out. Very sweet girl here. So I'm liking this expression, guys, and this is going to be very nice to mix with some of the American blood that we're going to take her to when she matures. Probably closer to 2 years, 3rd or 4th heat, just depending on what I'm seeing her development to be. So what you're noticing with Fortuna, right, and even Kiko, is I love this shoulder set right here. You're not really helping me. So I love their shoulder set, guys, in the chest, the width. And for a young girl to express that, can you stand up for me? Come on, come on. Don't mess with that. And that's what I love about them. This shoulder expression right here shows a lot of the bulldog, right? The oldies. And that's, I feel like, something lacking in the XLs, you know, your XL category. And so I just showed you Fortuna and Kiko, 2 Brazilian females, 1 imported and 1 US born. And what's important to keep in mind is that prior to making these kind of investments in shipping dogs here, the first thing we inquired about is, can we register them with ABKC? ABKC is our home registration where we go to shows, where we compete. All our dogs are registered there. Once we found out that we can register them, so long as they're not an F1, that's when we decided to move ahead and pull the trigger and bring in, you know, some Brazilian blood. And if you look at the Brazilian dogs, they're comprised mainly about the same breeds. Bulldog, Pit, you know, I don't think there's much massive influence down there, but they have been sourcing XL bullies to bring down there to mix into their dogs. But the Brazilian dogs is very easily recognizable by the big head and the closeness of the eye set in the front. That's a trademark Brazilian pit monster look. I personally like the American faces better of the XLs. However, you can't deny the wow factor and breed type that these dogs, you know, share. Their attributes are amazing, and I love that. I love the power, the physique, the functionality of the dog, the sturdiness of the dog, similar to the XLs. And I think that if we keep an open mind and we responsibly breed, that we can really influence the generations coming up in the next 5-10 years by the productions we make. And of course, our dogs are embarked. We do health testing on all our dogs, because if a dog is unhealthy, then obviously we should not be breeding the dog as responsible breeders. Now, what's very important to me is temperament, because there is some volatility in our community. Temperament is key to me. So a hot-blooded dog can't be on my yard. I'm not doing it. Hot-blooded, you know, like super dog aggressive, or, you know, unruly, or even human aggressive. This is a very, very powerful breed, guys. And I think you'd be surprised how you wouldn't even be able to handle an 80-pound dog if the 80-pound dog was really getting after it. So to me, number one is temperament. Only behind that is health, and then the attributes, of course, right? So in essence, all of them are first tier, but all those things have to be present for me to even want to use the dog. That's why it's important for me to see the dogs before I use a stud. So I'm a person that likes my females. I'm not a big stud guy. I love all you guys with amazing studs, because I'm gonna see you and see if your dog is a good matchup for my girls. So for me, I like the females, and I like to pick the studs that I would like to use at some point. So next up, let's go over some American girls. Come here, Poodle. This is Champion Poodle, Snickers, AKA Poodle. Come here. So this is a purebred American XL female, 23 months old, right? Love the head, love the cheeks. You see what I mean by the chest set and the shoulders, where the Brazilian dogs exhibit more of that. And she's got nice clean cat feet, guys. She champed out over 2 shows. I know, sweetheart. Why don't you behave for me? Come on. So you can see that top line right there. Cat feet, good rear. Very well balanced dog, right? That's Champion Snickers. There she is. And I love this. Look at that short muzzle on her, right? Beautiful girl. Now, looking at her, I'll show you another all full-bred American girl. Our girl Maki. Come here, Maki. Come here. Here's another purebred American girl, a little bit bigger. This is a 120+ pound dog. Big body Maki. Nice head on her. So Maki is probably about 23 with a 24-inch head. Poodle's a 25-inch head. And she's probably got about 15 pounds plus on Poodle. Poodle's about 110, maybe 112. But there you go. You see the thick rib cage. Nice top line. Good depth on the chest right there. Right? So that's an American girl. Very big. I like the profile, right? And see, you can see this dog has massive influence. You know, I'm not here to hide anything. I want to show the dog for what it is and tell you that by looking at this dog definitely has some kind of massive influence in it. And she is embarked as well. It's our girl Big Body Maki, who will be breeding as soon as she fully goes into heat. She kind of went into, like, started swelling, and I started panicking, but kind of like a preheat. Hasn't really bled yet, but we're testing her. So we're taking her cousin, Air, from Lone Star Bullies. So with that said, now let's look at two other girls. Okay guys, like I was saying, here's our other two girls who are kennel mates and sisters of the same litter. This is a half Brazilian and half American XL dog. And what's really attracted us to these girls is Klaus is a standout import from Brazil, and Lily is a very well-bred American XL female off of King Zion and Bossy's Tetra. I like King Zion. He is amazing, and he's an amazing producer off of Bossy's Adios. Same thing with Bossy's Tetra. This whole bloodline on that side is amazing, and you take that to a dog like Klaus, who is a freak. He's a hyper type, hyper expression of body. But here, so this girl right here is coming off heat now. She's going to be back in campaign, guys. She was in campaign, ABKC shows. We had to pull her from campaign because she went into heat. So this April, actually no, we're going to skip this month, and she'll be back on her first show in May. May and June, she'll be back in the ring, guys. We're going to see you. So anyhow, we ended up getting these guys that are half American and half Brazilian because of Klaus and because of Lily. Now, Klaus has been bred to other females, yes, but the importance of what we were looking for is we like that Zion blood. Zion is a marquee dog that we follow. That's a cornerstone in our yard. We have a lot of that blood on our yard, so much so that we got them and even the mom. So these guys I bought roughly 2 years ago when we were looking for dogs, and I found Miss Aria with Samba Kennels, my breeder. She is also my friend and also my mentor. Everyone needs a mentor. Even a mentor needs a mentor. So everyone starts as a student, you become a mentor, you mentor other people, but even the mentor needs a mentor. You need someone to bounce your ideas off of, you know, somebody that give you a different perspective that maybe you didn't see or realize. So that's very important, guys. So show you 6 girls, 2, 2, and 2, starting with 2 fulls, 2 American fulls, and now these are 2 half American and Brazilian guys. The breeds mix very well because the breeds used are very common. So in conclusion, I feel it is appropriate, this time is appropriate to mix the pit monsters into the XLs because of the lack of uniformity of look. And even without the Brazilian dogs, the XLs alone, but full bred XLs here, you know, you could easily see 3 different expressions in one show. First and foremost, I like Raul QBN. I'm a big fan of his amazing content. Man, all of us can stand so much to learn from that guy. I love his content. Araya, another amazing person. I've learned so much from her. She has been a gem to me, a great person to me. I respect both of their standpoints. I have my own standpoint. And because I am willing to put the work, the dedication, the knowledge, the research into what I'm doing, I also stand on my platform and have an opinion. And so do the rest of you guys. If you don't like the Brazilian dogs, that's fine. I'm not breeding all 50% dogs. I got my American breedings that are just American. I got my Brazilian breedings that are just Brazilian. And then I have my in-between, which is what I bought into that I'm going to take back to a Brazilian or take back to an American to see what I get. All that to say, this is what makes our community great, is that we can all have an opinion. And I think it matters. I think it's important that we all express which direction our categories and our lane, the XL lane, which way it's going. And it's very good, discussions to have. And I do like hearing different perspectives, because sometimes somebody will bring up a point that even I didn't think about. And that's important to me, to keep an open mind and not be kennel blind and not be so consumed with what I do that, I'm living in my own bubble. No one wants to live in their own bubble and be detached from the reality of things. So keep that in mind, guys, for yourselves, for your camp, or if you are a person that's a fan of the breed and investing in these dogs, find and connect with good, ethical people. We don't always have to agree, guys, and that's okay. We can agree, we can disagree, but you know what? We're all still family. We're all part of this bully game, bully lane, and therefore, I like the openness of communication. That concludes this episode of a Brazilian Pitmonster versus American XL Bully. Earl Sumo Bully Kennels, guys, and I'll catch you on the next one.